Club of Louisville. I'm happy to see all of you all here today. I'm Lori Flannery. I'm President and CEO of New Directions. I'm the President of this club, and I'm a Paul Harris Fellow. It's great that I had to interrupt so much great conversation. Everybody's really animated today, and I was a little worried because when I came in, I heard that we have had kind of an unprecedented number of people that had registered to be here, but they had canceled because of sickness in themselves or in a close family member. So glad they're not here. No offense. They can always watch it on YouTube, right? They can catch up with us later. But it is really nice to see all of you all be so excited to be here today. I want to remind everybody that if you have a device with you, if you will please either silence it or turn it off for the 1 hour of our Rotary meeting. That way you're really showing respect to the speaker as well as to each other. Providing our invocation today is Louis Straw, President of Independence Bank, Club Director, and Paul Harris Fellow.
Thank you, Lori. Is Judy Handmaker here?
Yeah.
Judy, I'm going to call you out for a second. So, almost 25 years ago to the day, long before I was a Rotarian, I met Judy Handmaker when she taught a Sunday school class for our Sunday school at Christ Church United Methodist. And she taught on the book of Tobit. And I was so impressed by her, I asked for a prayer that was in the book of Tobit, and I've kept your letter here for 25 years.
Waiting for this opportunity.
Waiting for this opportunity. So, our prayer today will be a reading from the book of Tobit, 4th chapter, book of Tobit in the Old Testament. Let us pray. Be faithful to the Lord in all your days. Never transgress his laws. Do good works all the days of your life. If you act in truthfulness, you will be successful in all your actions. Set aside part of your wealth for almsgiving and to the poor. Never turn your face away from any poor man, and God will never turn from you. In giving alms, if you have more, give more. If you have less, give what you can. Pride brings ruin. Do to no one what you would not want done to you. Give bread to the hungry. Be generous to those in need. Bless the Lord in everything and ask him to guide you in all your ways. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Louis. Okay, now to lead us in the pledge and the Rotary four-way test, we have Tony Coffey, Principal at Parthenon LLC, Vice Chair of the Rotary Fund Investment Committee, member of the 1912 Society, and Major Donor.
Thank you. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the four-way test and the things we say
Is the truth, is fair to all concerned, will it build goodwill and better friendships, will it be beneficial to all concerned.
Thank you, Tony. So now is the time, if you have a guest here with you today, Rotarians, if you'll please line up at this microphone over here to my right, your left. It's really important for you to say your name first, then the name of your guest, and if you will say their title and the organization that they're affiliated with. Guests, when you hear your name, please stand up so the Rotarians can get a good look at you. Go ahead.
All right. Hello. Can y'all hear me? Let's see if I can find the switch. I gotta put my glasses on.
Take your turn.
There we go. Hello? Hello?
Thank you, Dennis.
All right. Come on. Hello? 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 You're there now. All right. I'm David Dick. And I have with me today my guest, Justin Mercy. He is my son-in-law, and he's also president of DBT Technologies.
Welcome.
Hello, I am Christy Bartlett. I have Jaquita Warfield. She is the COO of Options for Success Family Services.
Welcome.
Hello, I'm Erskine Courtney, and I have my son, William Courtney, who just graduated from UL with a master's in business analytics.
Welcome.
President Lowry, fellow Rotarians, Kevin Fields, Club Director and Club Secretary, and Chair of the Club's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. I'm pleased to introduce my guest today, Keisha Thomas. Keisha is the founder and owner of the Underground Lou magazine and the undergroundlou.com. She's also the producer of the 4th annual Black-Owned Business Excellence Awards initiative that's scheduled for the weekend of February 21st.
Welcome.
President Lori, Melissa Cobb, and fellow Rotarians, I have the distinct pleasure today to introduce 3 guests. My first guest, Jesse Bray from JLL. He's a senior project manager and adjunct professor at the university. Next up, we have the pleasure of Scott Warner with Forbes Mazars and celebrating 1-month anniversary with them today. Thank you for joining us. And our next is Sean Dawley, and he's joining us, a keynote speaker and leadership educator. Thanks for joining us today.
Welcome to all
Hi everyone, I'm Swarupa Watlington, and I'm the Chief Program Officer at Catholic Charities. Lisa couldn't be here, so she asked me to attend. Thank you.
Welcome.
So guests, when you hear me ring the bell again, that means that I have adjourned today's meeting to be Friday at 1 o'clock. If you please make your way over to the What is Rotary table, and you can tell us the What is Rotary table.
It's in the corner, and it has What is Rotary placard standing up vertically on the table. If you'll spend about 5 or 6 minutes there with Craig Sherman, he can let you know all about our club, see if you're interested. So, as usual, we have several Rotarians in the spotlight this week. Mac McClure will be speaking at the Louisville Suburban Rotary Club meeting, which is next Wednesday at noon. He's going to be talking about the Pappy Van Winkle family history, and it's going to be at the Corsair Shrine Center, and he has invited all of us. We are all welcome to come to listen to that very interesting discussion. We want to give congratulations to Craig Sherman, who was just named 2024 Citizen of the Year by the City of Anchorage. Talent and value as well as the Rotary Club. So thank you for being a big part of what we do too, Craig. We want to congratulate Ramona Dallum, who received the 2025 Living the Vision Award at the recent Keepers of the Dream, a community celebration of Dr. King's Vision event for her outstanding dedication and visionary leadership in the arts, inspiring creativity and excellence. We're pleased that we have 3 Rotarians who were chosen in the 2025 Bingham Fellows class. That class is going to delve into workforce housing. It's called A Place to Call Home, Innovative Workforce Housing Solutions, tackling the pressing issue of Louisville's housing crisis for the working class. And as you all know, that's a big issue here in Louisville as well as across the state and the country. And those 3 Rotarians who are going to be part of that class are Christy Flippins Bartlett, John Solomon, and Mike Hawarda. And of course, I want to note that Rotary and our club in particular is very much in the spotlight this last week with our hosting of the Mayor's State of the City address at the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts. It was a fabulous event. I had a lot of fun. I heard from so many Rotarians and guests after the event that they learn so much about Rotary, that they learn so much about what's going on in the city that you don't see all the time in the newspaper, that they felt inspired, that they felt a lot of energy. So I want to thank everybody who represented our club at that event or brought guests to it, and especially the people that had a hand in making that program as great as it was. Obviously, we had some committee members who helped with that in just an unbelievably inspiring way. Our executive director, Delene Taylor, and Tracy Peck spent hours preparing for that, leading up to the event. So let's give ourselves a... So when we get to this part of the year, you know, the cold weather will be receding, and it's starting to get warm, and you're starting to get all kinds of spring events, and we all know spring in Louisville is extremely busy. So what Delene tries to do is to highlight different things that are coming up, whether they're events or activities that Rotary is putting on or participating in, or whether they're service projects with our partners in the nonprofit world that we know are kind of the lifeblood of what we do. So she does highlight those, but if you're very interested in them, make sure that you go and look at Sparks yourself. She spends a lot of time trying to update that each week. And then if you want to find out even more detail, because we can't get everything in Sparks, right? If you want to find out more detail about something that's of interest to you, Delene is encouraging us to look at the website. She does keep it current. And it is at LouisvilleRotary.org, very easy to remember, LouisvilleRotary.org, and you can find out more details about the things that we have going on with very, very contemporary communication. We have several Rotary events in the works as of right now. So the first one is next Wednesday, February 12th. We'd like you to join us in the morning to mentor our Rotary Honors Scholars at Iroquois High School, and then come out that evening to pack supplies at SOS and meet some of our newer members. As you know, we have chosen the SOS events as kind of an icebreaker into the service projects for the new members and as part of their orientation. Wednesday, February 26th, is our regular meal service at Recenter Ministries. Our Interact and Rotaract clubs are hosting blood drives March 5th, 12th, and 19th. Please sign up to donate at one of those days if you are able. Our next Habitat for Humanity Raise the Roof Day is Friday, March 14th. And Bridget, I assume you'll be there since you're on the board of Habitat and Rotary. Now, put you on the spot. We're going to need about 15 volunteers. So if you're interested in all the good work that Habitat does, please consider also representing Rotary and participating in the Rotary event with Habitat. The evening of March 14th is a wine swap party at the home of Jeff and Mo Underhill. And Jeff is our chair right now of the Social Club Committee, and he has already hosted a couple of events this year, which are a lot of fun. This one promises to be fun too, and maybe you can get rid of some of the pain that you may have to work through from working at Habitat all day. We're planning a Rotary Spring Fling at the Zoo on Tuesday, April 8th. So if you're interested in that, please complete the survey in Sparks to let us know which time you prefer. And you heard last week that the mayor announced a Rotary partnership that we're doing with the mayor's office and with Brightside. There are 2 opportunities for Rotarians to participate in this cleanup project. Saturday in the morning, April 19th, we will be sprucing up the Louisville Knot sign, which of course is Rotary's, under the 9th Street overpass by the river. And on Earth Day, April 22nd, we hope to have several groups working just kind of generally around town, picking up litter and just making us look better in general. That's perfect. It's Earth Day, it's in the spring, and it's just a couple of days before Oaks and Derby. So the last announcement that I have is that our district will be kicking off a matching points campaign on February 10th. So that is just right around the corner. If you donate between $125 to $2,000 to the Rotary Foundation Annual Fund share, that supports district matching grants, global grants, and global grant scholars. And it receives matching Paul Harris Fellow points. So details will be in the next Sparks, not this week, but the next Sparks. Or you can contact Mike Poole or Amy Latrell. Now I would like to invite to the podium Jay Mallory. He's the EVP of Marketing and Business Development for Image Quest. He's the chair of the Membership Development and Engagement Committee, and Paul Harris Fellow to induct a new member to our club.
Thank you, President Lori. Would Chrissy Flippins Bartlett and her sponsor Bridget Johnson please join me at the front? Always an exciting time. So fellow Rotarians, we seek to grow our membership so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also extend the spirit of Rotary throughout our community. Today it's my honor to induct one new member. So you've been elected to membership of this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your calling and to possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify in your public, business, social, and private life the true spirit of Rotary. You've been admitted to not only the 13th largest Rotary club in the world, but to a global organization of over 46,000 clubs, where you're also welcome at any time. Rotary membership adds value to those who engage, whether by attending meetings and events, participating in service projects, or sharing their knowledge and talents as we carry out the principles of Rotary to this community. So now, for me to induct you as a member of the Rotary Club of Liberty.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. Congratulations, Christy. As the founder and CEO of Options to Success, Inc., Christy Flippins Bartlett is dedicated to transforming the lives of at-risk girls by breaking cycles of adversity, one family at a time. Options to Success provides mental health counseling, educational opportunities, housing stability, and innovative alternatives to detention. Its residential programs and permanent supportive housing go beyond offering shelter. They lay a foundation for dreams to take flight. Christy also serves as a national surveyor with CARF International and vice chair of the Kentucky Juvenile Justice Advisory Board. She is an ambassador for Dress for Success, a member of the Louisville Junior League, and a member of the Louisville Junior League. Christy earned a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship with a concentration in organizational leadership from Simmons College of Kentucky. Her proudest achievement is being a mom to J.C. Cruz, who inspire her daily and remind her why this work is so important. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jane and Bridget, and congratulations to Christy. Now I would like to invite to the podium Chris Manzo, owner and principal of Sandbox Design Collaborative, and Paul Harris Fellow +1 to introduce today's speaker.
It's an honor here to be introducing our guest speaker today. Thanks, President Lord. I also just like to call out a welcome to his colleague assistant, Justin Sharp, Corporate Affairs Manager with us today. Thanks, Justin. Jake Cannon, our guest speaker today, comes from a very long line of work in the retail grocery business. He currently oversees the Kroger division, the Louisville division, of Kroger Company, which is responsible for 116 stores across Kentucky, Southern Indiana, Southern Illinois, and employs over 19,000 colleagues and associates. Under his leadership, the Kroger Company Louisville division was recently named the 5th most generous large company in the greater Louisville area. I'd like to make a quick anecdote about that. If you all recall back a couple years ago when we stepped up leadership-wise at the start of the pandemic, we really took a calming, firm role in that. Was super generous with their time and resources in helping out communities with early vaccination and early just turn the corner on that thing. So they put their money where their mouth is. Jake has 26 years of grocery retail experience. He began his career with Kroger as a produce clerk at Smith's Food and Drug, Utah, in 1999. Over the years, he has held a variety of roles, including assistant store leader, lead HR coordinator, key retailing special assignment and district manager, and division meat merchandising. In 2017, Jake was named Director of Operations for the Cincinnati division, where he helped develop process improvement solutions and merchandising techniques. These solutions were later introduced company-wide to produce better solutions and customer experiences. Jake was promoted to Vice President of Freshness and Standards for Retail Operations at the corporate offices in 2018, and in 2019, he was named Vice President of Operations for the Cincinnati division. And then short on the heels of that, in 2022, he was named President of the Louisville division. Jake holds a bachelor's degree in business from Weber State University in Ogden, Utah, which I'm assuming is where you're from, somewhere around there. And in 2010, he completed the Food Industries Management program at the University of Southern California's Marshall School of Business. He has 2 adult children, Jared and Audrey. Please welcome Jake.
Well, thanks, Chris. I need to travel with a hype man here. Get you on the road. That's fantastic. Well, hey, I appreciate the gracious introduction. I got to be honest with you, I was talking to Sean while we were kind of milling around here. I got to be, I'm way more comfortable in a grocery aisle than I am in front of a group of leaders like this. So I appreciate the opportunity, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a little bit nervous. You know, the grocery industry is super special to me. It's and the industry, it's really interesting. A lot of people that are in the industry, like myself, really started kind of as a part-time job. Chris mentioned I did grow up in Utah. I grew up in a small town in northern Utah. It was a farming community, like everybody in the community. I worked on multiple farms. Me and my 2 brothers, we got up every day, we farmed, we went to school, and I actually got into the grocery business because when I turned 16 and I had a driver's license, I was sitting in a high school class, and my buddy was sitting next to me, and he leaned over and he goes, "Jake," I said, "What?" He said, "I just got a job at the grocery store." I said, "Okay." And I said, "Tell me more about this." And he goes, "Hey, you know how we work on the farm and it's like 100 degrees for 30 straight days in Utah? In the back of the grocery store, they have these things, these coolers. And it's where all the product comes in, and it's always kept at 34 degrees. And my job is to unload that in 34-degree weather." That sounds pretty amazing. And so I went home and I talked to my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, what if I didn't work as much on the farm and I worked at the grocery store?" And he kind of looked down cross-eyed. But he's good. My dad's a good man, and he slept on him, opened his hand, "That's what you want to do, go do it." And so I went down, I talked to the owner of the grocery store at 16. I said, "Hey, I'd like to work here. I'll do you a good job if you give me a chance." And I got hired into produce department. And it was everything I hoped it would be. And really, I've been in the industry ever since. I joined Kroger in '99, about 3 years later, because I got married to my high school sweetheart. And candidly, I needed better benefits and more money, and Kroger was known for that, Smith's, which is part of the Kroger company, and so that really launched my career. And I've been with them ever since. It's all I've ever done, other than, you know, pull weeds and plow stuff. So it really is a fascinating industry. So I want you to think about walking into your local grocery store. It doesn't have to be Kroger, although we'll talk after. But think about the last time you walked in and maybe you didn't have a good experience. So maybe there were some items that you needed to make a meal for your family and they were out of it. Or for some of you, maybe you had to, your significant other said, "Hey, you swing by the grocery store, I made this meal, I need you to get these things." And you went in and you couldn't get it. I want you to think about how that made you feel. Were you upset? Yeah. Of course you were upset. You need this stuff, right? And so food is an emotional topic. And think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You guys all have heard of this, right? So food and water are at the base of that pyramid. And it's one of the most common things that we, as humans, need. We want, but we need. We need it to survive. And so we can't survive without it. And when you're prevented from getting what you need, it makes you mad. It makes you feel some emotions. It makes you feel some kind of way. And that's why I love this business. I work in a business that when we get it right, it makes people's lives better. It makes them happy. It makes them feel successful. And while we aren't perfect, I'll be the first to admit it, when we do get it right, it's magic. It's awesome. You really do make people's lives better. And that's why I love the industry. So hopefully I can share a little bit about the industry with you today. Excuse me. Let's talk about the Kroger Company. So Kroger Company's been around a long time. So 142 years in the industry, from our humble beginnings 142 years ago to what we've evolved into today, the customer really has been at the center of every decision that we make. At its very core, our business is fairly simple. Have what the customers want, keep it in stock, make sure you give them a good experience when they come to get it, and hope they come back. While that may seem simple, the truth is the customer needs are constantly evolving, whether it's what they eat or how they want to be served or what method they want to use to get their food or how much they're willing to pay, how they're responding to the latest food trends. These things are all changing all of the time, and we have to stay ahead of that. And it takes an incredible number of associates and talented leaders to deliver against that, all the while trying to predict where the industry might be headed and stay out ahead of that. So our goal is to deliver that all the while living our purpose and our promise, which we say internally is to feed the human spirit. So back in 1883, Barney Kroger started with 17 types of feed, $372, and a horse named Dan. It was a horse's name. And a simple model, never sell anything that you wouldn't want yourself. So his first stores were called the Great Western Tea Company. I don't know why all food companies in the 1800s had the word tea in it, but they did. He baked his own bread so he could sell it at a lower price and to provide more convenience. Kroger was the first company in the U.S., and we have this all the time internally, to put a butcher shop inside a grocery store. How novel is that? Now, this may not seem like a big deal today, but in 1883, I can tell you it was revolutionary. People didn't necessarily love it. They thought it was kind of odd. But think about the supermarket today. And that really was the origin of today's modern supermarket. Think about all the departments in the store that you may shop in. There was a time, and you can imagine, when all those purchases were made at separate locations, getting there separately, picking them up, generally on foot or on horseback. What a nightmare. The supermarket really did bring to life the one-stop shop. So instead of going to the butcher, the baker, and the grocer, we were able to provide everything the customers needed, increasing the level of convenience, which has become an expectation that the customer really hasn't stopped expecting ever since. In his first 25 years of operations, Barney Kroger grew into 136 stores. He had his own supply chain, he had loyal customers, and he had a purpose, and he had obviously what every fledgling company needs, potential that he could capitalize on. And guess what? He had delivery too. So keep this in mind as we talk about the future. He did have delivery, so 142 years ago. By 1929, Kroger was operating more than 5,000 stores. 1929, 5,000 stores. For context, we have 2,700 stores now. But the stores were a little bit different. And 1929 really was a pivotal year for me personally and my team here in Louisville, as it marked Barney Kroger's first venture into Louisville, Kentucky. We began at the store on 15th and Broadway. You can see a picture of it right there. Interestingly enough, it's right down the street from our current Broadway location. So we've been in that area for close to 100 years. When Barney moved into the Louisville market, things looked different than they do today. I mean, can you imagine back then having to compete against 3 major competitors? You can see them on the screen here. You may recognize some of these names. A&P, Safeway stores, and of course Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly. Still around. Some of these stores are still around. You guys recognize these 3 competitors? So yeah, I mean, 3 major competitors. That's tough. Gosh, I lost my place here. Sorry. So now it's 2025, nearly 100 years since Kroger opened their doors in Louisville, and we're up against a lot of the same challenges and a whole bunch of new ones. Things that we have to sort of understand and conquer to really be relevant here in the Commonwealth for another 100 years. So what do these challenges look like, and how are we positioned as the best grocery retailer to meet the needs of our community and our customers for the foreseeable future? I mentioned how bad I felt for the Kroger team back in 2019, 3 competitors. 3 big, powerful competitors, really. And it's still a challenge today. So let's look at who sells groceries in Louisville today. There's Walmart, Publix, Meijer, Aldi, Whole Foods, Amazon, Fresh Market, Trader Joe's, BJ's, Costco, Sam's Club, Dollar General, IGA, Value Market, Save-A-Lot, Paul's Market, and Gordon's Food Service. And that's just the ones I pulled within the city limits. So again, there's more competition than ever, despite what the FTC may say during our merger. And everybody wants a slice of that pie. So to thrive in today's marketplace, grocers really do have to stand out. They have to stand out on variety. They have to stand out. They have to lead on innovation. They have to find new ways to grow. And perhaps most importantly, they have to develop leaders that are willing to take risks and find ways to expand services and continue to grow and change inside the industry. The list of competitors shows you one of the key challenges that candidly we face today, omni-channel shopping. So while there's a lot of brick and mortar companies up there, that you saw, most of them are investing significant amounts of capital into the omni-channel space. So here's some interesting facts. Omni-channel shoppers spend 1.5 times more than an in-store only shopper. And nearly 3 and 4, or 75% of all customers now shop for groceries online at least part of the time. So, and guess what? The customers that shop online at least part of the time are 3 to 4 times more loyal than in-store only customers. It's an important space to be in, and you have to get it right. So what is omni-channel shopping? Most of you are business folks, you understand what that means. It's a fancy way of saying they use multiple ways, multiple channels to get their groceries. The 3 big ones right now, you're familiar with in-store, right? You want to walk in, you want to shop, you want to browse, you want to touch, feel, you want to get what you want to get. It's still available. I believe that will always be a part of what we do in the grocery business. Pickup. Over the last 10 years, pickup has exploded. The pandemic really kind of shot that forward as people tried to be a little bit careful with social distancing and everything that was going on. It is the fastest growing segment of our business today. And then delivery. You see all of our food trucks running around trying to figure out delivery. Hey, if you don't have time, we'll put it right on your doorstep. Nobody's really, even Amazon, nobody's really unlocked a way to be profitable in that space, but it's clearly where the customer's going, and the first one to figure that will have really a key competitive advantage. So companies really do have to be good at all 3, and being great in those channels is absolutely critical, but regardless of what channel customers choose to shop to get their food, their requirements regarding variety absolutely have not changed. They still want more options, they want unique brands, they want customization, and they always want more convenience. So at Kroger, we need to be the one-stop shop where customers can fill their carts, grab their health and wellness needs, swing by the pharmacy, fuel up at one of our on-site gas stations, and really pick up all those extras they need for celebration events that go on their lives and the lives of the people that they love. They're looking for things like great floral shops. We are the largest florist in America. Large floral shops, Murray's cheese, robust grab-and-go, eat options for convenience, sushi, catering, local products. We're the largest purchaser of Kentucky Proud products in the Commonwealth. And they want to go to their favorite Starbucks to get their favorite Starbucks drink. Interact with their favorite Starbucks barista, right? They want to pick up their family scripts from a convenient and friendly pharmacy where the pharmacist knows their name. They want access to great health care at the little clinic. They want fuel, especially when they've accumulated. Come on, those fuel points, man. When you get that dollar, don't you feel? I mean, I work at the company. When I scan that thing and I've got $1 off, I feel like I've conquered the world. It's awesome. You got to get those fuel points. But there's a lot of requirements that the customer asks of us, and our job is to find a way to deliver against that. So what is our value proposition? Internally at Kroger, our goal here, we believe that we are the destination for fresh, affordable food with zero compromise on value, quality, or convenience. Over the past 20 years, we've invested over $5 billion to lower prices to stay competitive and make sure that we position ourselves in the marketplace appropriately on pricing. And really, we key in on our weekly specials, right, our promos. We want to be the best in the markets that we serve with our promotional activity. We offer our customers a variety of ways to save through our loyalty program that they can take advantage of weekly sales, digital deals, fuel points. Our brands, which represent about 1/3 of our business. So when you think about not just the items that say Kroger on it, but Private Select and Simple Truth, there's about 20 of them. About 1/3 of our total business is our local brands that we make and manufacture. And then Boost. Every company in America has a rewards for a membership program, right? And we have one as well. So you may have seen it on the commercials. Boost for our most loyal customers. If you want to buy a Boost membership each year, additional savings, free delivery, 2 times fuel points, lots of great perks there as well to help you grow our most loyal customers. We now deliver to every single zip code in Jefferson County and every zip code in the Commonwealth, which is really important as well as we think about scope and reach and making sure that we can serve customers wherever they are. So we're proud of all the ways that we've come up with to serve customers. We still have a lot of work to do. And the teams work really hard to bring this to life. However, the most important part of my job, arguably, is attracting and retaining the next generation of Kroger leaders that really will help us carry the business into the future. A lot of dedicated people work for Kroger. Chris called out 19,000 just in my division alone. We are proudly union. We're the 5th largest employer in Kentucky. 19,000 people is a lot of people. I know all their names. Would you like me to recite them? I don't. I should. I don't. It's a lot of people. We're approaching 500,000 associates across the nation. And we are committed to offering all of our associates a culture of opportunity, growth, and a career with a purpose and frankly, a career that they can be proud of. While many may join the team in pursuit of a part-time job or something to do over the summer, I'm always inspired to see so many of our associates discover a fulfilling career, and I certainly count myself in that number. We're consistently recognized for industry-leading benefits, culture, and a commitment to creating a workplace that respects and values our communities. We offer a ton of resources, benefits, training, and other things to support and develop our associates. We have we're really proud of our compensation packages at all levels of the organization, including salaries, wages, healthcare, retirements via fully funded pensions, and 401k plans that are lucrative, that have great matching dollars to make sure that we help build wealth for our associates as they work hard to take care of our customers. We offer, this one's really special to me as well, we offer tuition reimbursement. So every associate is eligible for up to $21,000 for both part-time and full-time associates. You can use that money any way you like. You want to finish your GED or you want to start a PhD program, it doesn't matter to us. We'll take care of it. Since its inception, the program has contributed more than $54 million to empower associates at Kroger to continue their education and improve their lives. The really cool part about that is 86% of those dollars go to part-time hourly clerks, which is really proud of that. A lot of training and development. We have on-demand, most specific training for all of our folks. We have modern learning platforms. We have leadership and career advancement classes for free. And we have a very robust diversity, equity, and inclusion program as well that we're proud of. We support our associates' safety, health, and well-being. It's a crazy world out there, and crazy things happen in the grocery store. You're in Louisville locally, you're aware of some of the tragedies that have taken place. And during the pandemic, Chris mentioned that as well. During the pandemic, it was tough to come to work. It was scary to come to work. Making sure that we take care of our associates' well-being really is important and central to what we're trying to do with our associates. And while trying to provide flexible schedules, discounts on groceries specific for our associates, including we give them streaming services. We give them discounts on, if you want to go buy a Ford truck at the plant, use your Kroger discount, get an extra 10%. So really proud of how we take care of our associates, and we think that really is a competitive advantage. We've seen a lot of our competitors in the industry, as we cut costs and try to be competitive, they've moved away from some of those investments. It's kind of hands-off at Kroger. We'll go find other ways to save money. We've got to take care of our teams. One of the things I forgot to mention, Barney Kroger, from the very beginning, he was known for his philanthropic efforts. He donated to parks, hospitals, medical research throughout his life, and dozens of other areas where he could do good. So throughout Kroger's history, we've worked hard to ensure that philanthropic spirit remains essential to who we are as a company. Zero hunger, zero waste. You may see that logo alongside of some of our trucks cruising around. It's aimed at eliminating hunger and reducing food waste in a space where we feel like, candidly, we are the subject matter experts. So I want to share a troubling statistic, at least it's troubling to me. 38% of food produced in the United States goes to waste. It's produced and goes to the dump. It goes to the dump. Well, 1 in 5 children in the U.S. don't know where the next meal is coming from. We do not and we will not have all the answers, but we're clear about our vision, and we are dedicated to solving that problem, and it's really important to us. And in this role, you get a lot of opportunities to work with food banks and see some of the ways that food affects lives, and so it's, I apologize for the motion. It's really important to us, and it's really central to what we're trying to be as a company. Hunger doesn't discriminate. You see it here in the Louisville metro area. It affects every age, every demographic, every corner of the city. It exists, I promise you. So since 2017, I went to a meeting in 2017. I had just become an executive, and our CEO and chairman pulled us in and said, listen, by 2025, we are going to donate 3 billion meals to Americans that need it. And it's 2025, and we met and surpassed that goal. We're really proud of that. So all of you are in business, and when you hit a metric, it gets bumped, right? So we sat in a meeting 3 months ago up in Cincinnati where our chairman sat down with us again and said, great job, we're going to do 10 billion meals by 2030. That's 5 years. So we're working hard on that, and I promise you we will meet and exceed that goal as well. Our associates help every day with this problem by setting aside surplus food in our stores for donations to local food banks and agencies through the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste food rescue program. We aim to donate balanced meals to our food bank. We have great partners here with Dairy Care. Many of you are familiar with Dairy Care's work. And one of the things I think we're especially proud of is 45% of our donations are fresh foods. So for those who live with food insecurity, access to fresh food is not really a problem. Canned corn, all those things are important, but fresh foods, nutritious foods, we've got to be better there, and almost half of our donations are fresh foods. So, moving on, how do old businesses stay open businesses? They have to operate in the here and now at the highest level, and you have to stay ahead of the trends, and you have to be ready for the future. Our teams are diligently piloting modern technologies and methods for engaging the customer and associates at even higher levels. I shared with you that you can't be a 142-year-old company. You can't not be okay with change. You can't not be okay with innovation. You have to take chances and move forward. You have to foster leaders that want to take those chances and are willing to take some risks. And we're already embracing the future. I want you to think about online ordering. 20 years ago, online ordering was a fraction of a percent of the total industry. Today, let's see, I want to get this stat right. We predict that e-commerce and e-grocery sales by 2028, it's 3 years away, right, will reach $120 billion. So for context, Kroger, we're the nation's largest traditional grocer. We do about $140 billion in sales. So $120 billion just online is like a whole other Kroger company just selling online. It's incredible where the industry is headed. The winning business model has to be omni-channel, integrating physical and digital channels to allow customers to choose how they want to get their food. However, brick and mortar remains the largest avenue for sales. That means we're going to continue to enhance our stores. People still want to show up. They want to interact. They want a space to go pick out their food and see their neighbors. And we want to be able to continue to provide that for them. I am proud to share in 2025, we're going to celebrate 26 remodels. We're going to update 26 facilities here in the area. And we have 2 new stores slated for this year as well, one in Lexington and one you may be familiar with off Beulah Church Road. There will be 123,000 square foot, state-of-the-art. We'll have everything. We're really excited about that. It's more than $111 million in investments in the Commonwealth, and we work really hard to make sure that those dollars go to local general contractors and subcontractors to keep that money in the state. But back to digital. Digital is great, but we also are keenly aware, like I said, that brick and mortar facilities matter. People care about their grocery store. But if you don't want to come inside and you just want to swing by, we'll run it out your car and put it in your trunk. You guys have all, anybody use pickup in here? You good. So it's important to be good in all those spaces. And then Kroger Delivery, I talked a little bit about that. It really is kind of the next step in the evolution. That's where we can expand our footprint without the sort of capital costs of having brick and mortar. It's important to be good at delivery. It gets us into areas where maybe we can't financially put a store, but we can still get food to people who need it. I want to talk a little bit about some of the other pillars here. So technology, like in all business, it's evolving at high speed. And that includes ours as well. AI, machine learning, automation are going to streamline operations. They're going to help us elevate the associate experience, remove redundancies, help us take costs out of the system that are visible to the customer. We have virtual assistants on our app. If you've been on our app, you want to have our AI lady, we call her Sage. She can see what you purchased recently and build you a list, tell you where to find it in the store, and build you a route. Go to the store so you can pick it up the most efficient way. I'm not great with technology. I've done it. It's a little freaky. Some of you may have seen the new digital shelf tags in our stores. This is helping us save time and reduce waste while avoiding those redundancies for associates. Plus, it continues to improve our price accuracy, which is really important as well. And as always, we continue to pilot new ways of working with technology by developing state-of-the-art technology and software internally. We have a great big, we're kind of a tech company. We have a really big tech arm that develops most of our technology in-house, and we're proud of that as well. And then sustainability, another big pillar. Consumers are more concerned than ever with sustainability, as are we. So we're laser focused on making sure that we source local product, that we reduce waste, that we reduce energy consumption. We will not have the answers, but fixing some of these problems are really important to us. We'll continue to work on them until we get them right. So while today's store looks fundamentally different than the original, our commitment to the customer remains the same. From generation to generation, from strong carriage, right there, Dan, to what we do today with our delivery. You can see really not that different, right? Horsepower versus combustion engine, 142 years difference there. What matters is the experience. It's the people, it's the smiles, and really it's the human connection. It's about food kind of bringing us all together. And being a part of that has been an honor of a lifetime, and that's why I've made it my career. So I do want to just thank everybody for the opportunity to talk today. It's been an honor. Thank you, Lori, and thank you. Where did she go? Delene, there she is over there. Thank you, Delene. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So Rotarians, if you have any questions of our speaker, please come over here and line up behind me.
Who's laying on the egg question?
I know, right? Somebody's got to ask about the price of eggs. If you will please abide by the rules on the screen, it would be appreciated. Thank you.
Hello, Ann Monell with the Legacy Foundation of Kentuckiana. I want to start with a thank you. Thank you for the Kroger app. If y'all don't use the app and you can't find anything in the store, it will literally tell you what aisle it's in, especially if you go to different Krogers. It's very helpful. Chad's smoked Gouda dip. Good Lord, it will change your life. I don't know who Chad is and who invented it. It is great. And I do want to thank you for your hiring policies. My best friend's son is hearing impaired, and it was very difficult for him to get hired by anyone. And Kroger has really embraced him, so thank you. But my question is, how do you select where to put your stores? Because in my work, we are learning about the food deserts. Grateful for your food donations, but I mean, it's embarrassing how many Krogers are close to me, and I live out in Crestwood. It's literally, there are 2 that are a half a mile apart, and there are sections with no grocery. Can you just talk a little bit about those decision making?
Yeah, for sure. And it comes up a lot, especially since we started building new stores here in Louisville a few years ago. So we have an in-house real estate team. Won't worry with the measures. There are certain criteria, population growth, density, affluency, those types of things. It costs about, I'll share with you, it costs about $50 million to build a grocery store in today's dollars. 5 years ago, it cost $25 million. So cost of construction, those types of things. So when you think about the amount of, we're in the volume game. We talked about trying to keep our prices low. We have to hit certain thresholds to be able to keep a store in the black. If we can't get that number, then obviously it's detrimental to the business. And so when we look at all those things, we are cognizant of what you're talking about. I would say, since I've been in Louisville, protecting the Portland store, protecting the West Broadway store, making sure the Highlands, Central Ave, that those stores stay strong, and then finding new and creative ways to get food to, quote unquote, food deserts, right? So we talk about the delivery program, Boost. We've given out 300 or 400 Boost memberships to the folks in West Broadway, or in the West End. Hey, you don't have a physical store close, but what we can do is we can give you a $50 membership. We'll just drop the groceries off on your doorstep. Jessica, who's in charge of corporate affairs, has worked with Nicole George in local government. She's our deputy mayor, with WIC to make sure that WIC families have access to delivery as well. We've donated all those memberships as well. So I think there are creative ways to solve what you're talking about. As far as physical brick and mortar, it really is about staying ahead of the trends. I live out there as well. Folks are moving that way. That's where the new construction is. That's where the growth is. That's where. Does that answer your question?
I'm Judy Handmaker. All I want to do is thank you. Thank you for hiring handicap, and thank you for all the corporate sponsors you give to our community. Thank you.
Jake, I'm Henry Heiser with Unistar Purchasing Solutions. I'm a big fan of Kroger and Sycor. Question on logistics. We walk into a Kroger store and you're the raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, and we expect them. Could you start from the beginning of how you source them, how they end up at the store from all over the world, on demand?
Yeah, absolutely. How much time we got? It's a great question, and I do get asked that a lot. It is, I mentioned it's seemingly pretty simple, our business. It is actually wildly complex. And supply chain, many of you deal with supply chain in your businesses. There are a lot of steps in the supply chain. We have local buyers that source, in your instance, berries. And so they work with berry growers in California, in Mexico, in South America. A lot of those things have to be booked out in advance because everybody's trying to buy from the growers. And so we have, because we've been around for 142 years, we have great relationships with those folks. We've make those purchases. In a lot of cases, because we have manufacturing facilities, we help package those things, or they may go to a third party. We make those purchases, they make their way across the country, they go to our local DC here, stores make the order, and off they go. So, but along that path, there's trucks that break down, storms that hit areas, and all those types of things, which is why you sometimes, and of course the pandemic is the best example, right? The supply chain disruption. But it really is from sort of what we call cradle to grave. We look at every item from inception till the time it hits our shelves, and really till the time it hits the register and goes home with the customer. There's probably, depending on the item, that there could be 30 or 40 steps in that process. So it's wild. And to get berries to you in 3 or 4 days from the time they get harvested, especially if we're out of season and they're coming from South America, it is a wild process, but it's important to us to get it so it's fresh for you. So.
Thank you for being here today and for your remarks. Susan Zepeda, I have a follow-up to Henry's question. Tariffs are the conversation of the day. What proportion of the produce in a Kroger comes from outside the United States?
Well, it's a great question I get because the tariffs are hot right now. Everybody's talking tariffs, right? Just watch the news. The good news about most of our, a little bit different than maybe Walmart or Meijer, because we are primarily food. Most of the food in a Kroger store comes from the United States. The only time we really reach outside the United States, and that's what we prioritize is U.S. grown food. But not everything's always in season in the United States. So probably about 30%, if we're out of season, is probably coming from somewhere else. So, bananas always come from South America, of course. And berries really kind of go back and forth. But it's probably a 70-30 split on some of those fresh produce items, depending on what's in season in California,
Steps you're taking to inoculate against tariffs?
So in fresh food, it's more difficult, right? Because you can't just buy a bunch and hold it in the warehouse and it's hold up for about 3 days. So, so a lot of what we do in areas where we do need to get ahead of product and we can hold it, we're doing that. We have done that. We did that during the pandemic. And always looking for additional growers, local growers. Sometimes we can go to smaller growers and build those relationships to make sure that if we can't go outside the United States or if it becomes too expensive, that we find other resources. The good news is, even here in Kentucky, there's lots of farms, lots of local places where we get stuff. Supply may become an issue, but there's always a way.
I noticed in the stores you're doing a lot of Kroger brands. You're taking a popular product and calling it Kroger brand. How do you determine that, and is it as good as the original?
You guys will have to tell me that.
You've got to be making money, so I'm assuming you're trying to price it a little bit under the regular product. I'm just curious, are you going to more Kroger brand product instead of the craft product for mayonnaise?
Yeah, national brand versus store brand, right? So it's a great question. So we have, his name's Juan Pauly, he runs our brands program. And it's actually, it's a fascinating process how we decide what items are going to be Kroger labeled, what we want to manufacture ourselves, what we want to label with our brand. We're very stringent about this. So the process really requires, like, hey, what is popular right now? What are people looking for? Is that something that we want to get into? And then if yes, then we have a whole team. We have scientists. We have all these people that work at Kroger that design it, test it, and then the most important part, that's why I say it's up to you guys, we put it in front of the customer and we won't launch a product with Kroger's name on it or under one of our brands. And it says it right on the building where it is. We won't do it if it's as good as, unless it's as good as or better than the national brand. So I'll tell you right now, and I'm not being a homer here, like I love Kroger branded product. There are many items that I think we make that are much better than the national brand, but that is our standard. And we use blind taste tests with customers across the country to make those decisions. And it does give us a competitive advantage because we can't sell it cheaper because we sourced it, we manufactured it, there's no brokers, there's no middleman. It helps us keep our prices down as well.
Am I going to walk into a Kroger store one day and everything in there is called Kroger?
Only if that's what the customer wants.
Julie James, former Vice President of the Filson Historical Society. My question is digital coupon. Can you talk about the psychology behind it? Because I personally, as a customer, don't like it.
Yeah. No. Hey, there's not a store I walk where somebody will say, look at me and say, that looks like somebody I'm going to tell them about digital. I got it. So digital coupons, and I promise you, I'm empathetic to what you're saying. I'll just give you sort of how we look at digital coupons. So again, we pay more for labor. We pay our people more than our competitors. We have all those things. So our cost of doing business is a little bit higher. So we always have to find ways to be able to keep prices low and give the best deals out there and still pay our bills. Digital coupons are interesting because when you have to go in and you have to click on it, right? That's the part people hate. But when you do that, we get rebate money from those manufacturers. So they may say, hey, we want to run, name brand shrimp, 2-pound bag of name brand shrimp. We want to go $5.99. Well, our cost might be $6.99. You can't do that very often. You go out of business. But hey, if you want to run it on digital, let us advertise on your app. So when they click on it, we get the click. We'll give you that money back and make sure that you can still sell it inexpensively to your customers, and then you can still make a few bucks on it. And that's really why.
Okay, thank you.
So it allows us to really get good deals.
All right. Hey, Jake. Barbara Sexton-Smith, former deputy mayor.
Yeah, yes.
And my Kroger, as a downtown resident, is 28th and Broadway, which I love, and 34th and Bank, which is Portland. So I'll see y'all at Bank in Westville at my Kroger. Okay, Jake, my question, could you talk just briefly about the Kroger Mobile Market, which was created here in Louisville, Kentucky as a partnership with Dare to Care? Thank you.
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you. So you've probably seen, maybe you've seen the mobile market cruising around the city here. Yeah, the idea behind that really, before we had figured out delivery, was, hey, we can't go build 3 or 4 more stores on the West End and take care of those customers. Is there a way that we could still get, again, we're trying to give people access. And so this idea of a single aisle grocery store with at least the basic needs, making stops around the city to areas where there may not be a physical grocery store available to them, it was really born out of that. And we're really proud in Louisville, really originated here. There's several now across the nation. But we designed it, we put it together, we partnered with Dare to Care, who really operates it, or at least picks the stops and helps us get to the right places. And we stock it with groceries. We find out what customers want in these areas. We adjust that assortment as we need. We adjust the stops, the timing, all those types of things to try to optimize how many people it can help. And hopefully it's doing some good out there.
Hi, Jake. I'll make this quick. I'm Melissa Cobb with Ciderama Downtown, and I'm a bit of a history nerd. So I'm just really curious if there are any OGs of the Kroger family still involved in the Kroger company.
I have to have thought that. I've never asked. I don't believe that there are. And I'd have to pull up Barney Kroger's family tree to see if he even how far down that thing goes. But I don't work with any actual people with their last name Kroger. If you can believe that.
Hi, Jake. I'm Fred Cowan. My Kroger's on about 2400 block of Parsons Road, and I must say, I've been shopping there maybe 40 years, so about 90% of what you see here, at least. But my question is in relation to that particular store. It's kind of a selfish question, but it's a great store, but it's kind of small compared to a lot of other Kroger stores. And years ago, I heard that the brick building that's at the other end of the block that used to be South Central Bell's, now I guess AT&T, that they weren't going to sell it or didn't want to sell it to you or whatever. And I'm just curious, is there any plans, any possibilities that something there might develop in the next year or 2, 5 years?
Say the store location. You said in
Bardstown Road. Bardstown Road, about 2200 block, something like that.
I got you. Oh, 3, yeah, the Highland store. Yeah, it is. It's too small. Now, I agree. I love that store, by the way. I think it's got that side entrance and everything. So we're always looking at expansions are wildly expensive, and reloads are kind of expensive as well. So the Highlands in particular probably warrants it. I think real estate in that area has really kept us from being able to do what we want to do there to get bigger. What we probably need is more density of store count over there.
That's it.
We did it. Okay.
Questions, Rotarians, and I want to thank Jake and Jessica for being here with us today. I want to thank Kroger for their investment in our community as well. I love Kroger, so thank you for being here. Next week, we have Conrad Daniels. He is with HJI Supply Chain Solutions. If you want to be with us next week, you'll need to register before noon, or you can use the QR code that's on the screen right now. I want to remind our guests, please spend just a few minutes before you exit the building at the What is Rotary table. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. We are adjourned.